After weeks of slow game releases, lackluster updates, a price increase, and a meta PR disaster, things are finally looking up for the Quest 2. Batman VR, major new releases, discounts, VR headsets across the board getting price cuts, and the Quest 2 finally being let free. A lot has happened over the last couple of weeks regarding this troubled little spy cam. So what's happened? I learned nunchucks like a G, but that's not why you're here, though let's be honest, it's why you probably should be here. I mean, have you seen a single other VR YouTuber perform a round of flip into a flawless black belt level nunchaku? No, of course you haven't. Subscribe and support nunchaku. Germany has finally freed the Quest 2. For those of you out of the loop, just like my Discord server, Germany sucks and no one likes it. Discord.gg/GetHip. I host regular public voice calls with viewers. Come join. Just kidding. Germany actually kind of went back for the average consumer, as back just before the release of the Quest 2, when Facebook introduced forced Facebook login to use the headset, the German Federal Cartel Office initiated abuse proceedings. By the way, I don't know what any of the that means. Abuse proceedings, German Federal Cartel Office. You don't know. I don't know. Neither of us know, neither of us care. All that matters is that it seems to have caused Meta to voluntarily suspend Quest 2 sales in Germany completely. But now that Facebook login is optional, Meta is resuming sales in Germany. However, president of the German FCO said they are not finished with its investigation and are also looking into the data processed within the framework of various Meta services. But what about those VR price cuts I briefly mentioned? Well, in perfect timing with the German sales of the Quest 2 resuming and the lead up to Christmas, especially as hype surrounding the Quest 2 and VR as a whole has dropped lower than my left nut. The Quest 2 did get a price cut for Black Friday, dropping down to $350. Still $50 goddamn more than it was last year, but whatever, price cut. Thanks, Dad. But more significantly, a host of PC VR headsets, perhaps after being absolutely obliterated by native VR for the last 2 years, have received pretty fucking significant price cuts. The HP Reverb G2 now costs the same as a base Quest 2 at $399. Obviously, you still need a PC, but for most of you out of the loop, the HP Reverb is one of the clearest PC VR headsets out there. A favorite for sim racing and Microsoft Flight Sim crackheads. The Valve Index, everyone's favorite glare-inducing, constantly broken, still $1,000, base station failing, cracked controller, hunk of shit that everyone still pretends they like because Valve, that's gonna piss so many people off, has gotten a price cut in Japan. The headset full kit got a whole 40% off. Considering that the majority of you watching yank or have broken teeth, why the fuck should you care? Well, this may be indicative of two things. One, obviously, this may mean a price cut on the Steam store for the rest of the world. And more importantly, two, this may be indicative of Valve trying to shift more indexes before preparing to produce the Deckard, Valve's new rumored standalone VR headset looking to be a Quest 2 competitor. Already, sadly, its Bradley has found playroom setup features, and Valve seems to be moving to more photogrammetry environments, shown by a new Steam VR update that introduced a host of new environments. We already know an astounding amount regarding this headset, from a tethered option like the Quest 2, full design patents, as well as full controller patents that seem to be a mix of the Quest 2 controllers with an index grip and finger tracking. And now for some of the coolest fucking VR news I've heard in a while. And I am painfully hyped about this, unhealthily hyped about this. I had 2 double espressos and 2 Red Bulls today. Not that that's related to this at all. A Batman VR game developed by the studio behind the very successful and absolutely gangster Iron Man VR game is now in development. In FTC documents, it was spotted that this Red Bull is destroying my brain! In FTC documents, it was spotted that one section details Meta's recent acquisitions, one being the studio Camouflage. In September of 2022, Meta acquired Camouflage, which currently is developing Iron Man and Batman VR apps for Quest. Considering how goddamn good Iron Man VR is, besides some cringe-ass dialogue at times, I'm incredibly hyped to see what they do with the rights to a Batman VR game. The Meta Quest 3 is going to have an absolutely fucking ridiculous lineup of VR exclusive titles at this rate. People are pissed about the Quest Pro's light blocker, as it's essentially a $2 piece of rubber being sold at $50. Doesn't even allow the Quest Pro to charge while it's attached. I personally really enjoy not being able to use my $1,500 products properly, so I also bought a Quest Pro light blocker to fund Mark's OnlyFans. I snagged the PSVR 2 bundle with Horizon Call of the Mountain, so subscribe to see valuable PSVR 2 content. Also because I have no money left. A new game called Gorilla Tag just released on the Quest store. It honestly looks kind of shit, so I don't know why Meta even approved this. Go play it. It's free, I guess. But seriously, it's crazy it's taken this long for literally the most rated Quest 2 game of all time to get approved for the official Quest store. Sony came out of fucking nowhere and dropped this trailer for full body tracking with just a few of these M&M looking ass discs. Sony dropped this woo ass looking trailer that quite clearly showed the government's intentions to transform all men into dancing anime girls with no self-respect whatsoever. It's called Mokopi. I'm not gonna act like I know what that means. Probably means like body tracking or some shit in Japanese. The trackers all fit nicely into a small case and connect via an app. I would be absolutely demoralized and left with very little hope in humanity if these aren't utilized for full body tracking with the PSVR 2. But more importantly, this seems to mean full body tracking on the Quest 2. Finally, as VR Chat announced they are integrating Mokopa these nuts or whatever into the game and will allow for standalone headsets like the Quest 2 to achieve full body tracking. This is fucking huge. I just spat right into my lens. This is fucking huge. Honestly, it's pretty astounding that Meta didn't get to this first. I think it's gonna act like a colossal kick in the nuts to Zuckerberg and will force them into actual action. Meta will likely monitor how popular this is, how many users actually buy these to use with the Quest 2, and will use that as a basis for how involved they want to get, because as much as I like full body tracking, out of all VR users, it's still a minority of users that use full body tracking. However, a lot of that is going to be down to the fact that for a long time, this has been limited to PC VR and Lighthouse tracking. If you're a Quest 2 user, would you like to use a Mokopi-like device for full body tracking? Do you not really give a fuck and just want to go play Gorilla Tag instead? Valve VR also got a full release a couple of weeks ago, becoming one of the most popular VR FPS to date. So far, it's sat at a very positive on Steam with 340 reviews. Now, considering basically every VR YouTuber in existence was sponsored to make a video covering this game, including me, it's near impossible to talk about Veil in a positive light without being accused of being a sellout. I don't blame you guys for thinking that, as this is not sponsored yet. Veil, if you want to sponsor this, you know my PayPal. Let me be totally honest about the game. This game slaps. Not biased when I'm saying that. I'm biased when I'm saying that. I lied. The combat is satisfying, the game modes are fun enough, the map design is solid, and is one of the first VR games I've ever played that feels like each match has very clear competitive direction. If you've ever played Pavlov, Onward, or Contractors, as much as I fucking love those games, you'll know the matches in more competitive game modes, at least in my experience, feel like they lose a lot of direction, either because of the player base, range of modes, or prominence of custom maps. A competitive game of Veil actually feels like a competitive game. Your teammates will fucking scream at you and you will scream at them if you're incompetent. But most importantly, the developers are constantly responding to players and listening to such a degree that I have never experienced with any VR game, ever. If something's dog shit, they will fully admit it is dog shit and then fix it, like Giga Chads. Since they are Giga Chads, perhaps we can convince them to add a GetHip skin to the game. In the comments below, if you give a fuck, comment what gun you want to see the skin on if you played the game and how you think the skin should look. I'm currently thinking Zuckerberg's eyebrows on a chimpanzee doing the gritty. Veil VR is $20 on the Steam store at the moment. So, Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 is out right now for the Quest 2. If you own a Quest 2 or Quest Pro, you can go play the game immediately. If you own a PC VR headset, not out until like February, March. This is honestly pretty fucked up. I love the first Saints and Sinners, but doing a timed exclusive on a game that isn't exactly a Quest exclusive that will release on PC VR and has already been confirmed for PC VR is honestly kind of fucked up. It's really uncool. As much as I own a Quest 2 and a Quest Pro and have a PC VR headset like the Index, this is scum behavior. I appreciate that Meta probably bankrolled the fuck out of Skydance Interactive for this, but I really hope this sort of behavior doesn't continue in the future, because it paints Meta in an even worse image, and it also paints amazing developers like Skydance in a bad image as well. In fact, the whole Walking Dead Saints and Sinners 2 Chapter 2 launch has been now marred in this controversy and has unfortunately caused a lot of hate to be directed to the game developers themselves. This is a shit trend. This shouldn't continue. What the fuck are you doing? So I would expect the PC VR version to be basically finished at this point as well. So just locking it behind a timed exclusive wall like this, what in the fuck, man? Come on. Them consumers. I know all you guys have been waiting for this. Megan Thee Stallion VR concert experience is now available on Who gives a fuck, mate? Also, Quest Pro recordings finally allow you to record pass-through. I think Zuckerberg watched my recent Pico video and was like, wow, GetHip makes a lot of good valid points. We should probably add pass-through recording onto the Quest Pro. Thank you, GetHip. Love you so much. Thank you. And he added it. So, you're welcome. Oh, Jesus Christ. Also, if you want to yell at me directly instead of rage typing in my comments like a fucking loser, come join my Discord at discord.gg/GetHip, where you can verbally abuse me directly. Also, it's where I announce when I go live on Twitch. I've gotten 2 strikes on my Twitch account so far. I'll probably be banned soon, so join the stream while you can. Also, if you got this far in the video, thank you. I love you very much. You are keeping my channel from single-handedly not going under. So perhaps check out my Instagram if you like my content this much. I mean, like, why are you here, you loser? Go check out my Instagram and my Twitter. Yeah, like, that's gonna get you to go check it out. Linked in the description. All right, I'm gonna drink another Red Bull and I'm gonna get back to work.